this one we're going to make kind of like a theatre style card. So what I've done is I've got my white smooth stamping card. So I've measured it to 9 inches by 6 inches. And then I have scored at 1 inch, 1.5, 7.5 and 8 inches. And I've done that twice. So I've folded my layers in so we can see that's how we're going to get that one. I've done it twice and I'm going to turn it over so this is the effect that we're going to get from up above, and it will fold flat. So let's bring in one of these. It's going to be the front layer. So what I'm then going to do as well is I've taken one of the pattern papers that are from the collections today, and I'm going to go round with my tape runner. So we're going to go all the way round. I have cut this one to 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, and with the layer underneath, and this one's from our Warm Tones 12 by 12 texture cardstock, I've just cut a small matting layer. It's not quite 1/4 inch all the way that I do. It's very, very slightly thinner for this one. And then we're going to still use our tape runner again. And we're going to go all the way round. And then what I'm going to do with this one is, what I'm actually going to do as well, is I'm going to do kind of like a little square in the middle. And that'll make sense in a minute or two. This can then go over the top, and then I'm going to press. So what I can then do is if I bring in the wildflowers, so we'll bring the outline die, the decorative die, and let's go for Sending Kisses. And what we can then do is this main background die, what we're going to do is this is then going to die cut through all 3 layers. Now the reason I've done kind of like a bit of a little square on the back with the adhesive is once this cuts out, there'll still be enough adhesive on the outside that's holding the cardstock in between, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Just so that we've still got something holding the centre. So what I can then do is bring in, I just made that wide enough, didn't I? Perfect, with the junior. Whew, just and no more.
Does it look to anyone else like there's a cat coming out the top of that die?
It does that, yeah, it does actually,
it?
Doesn't it? Yeah, it does. It's amazing actually what some of the dies can look like, you know, especially if there's outline dies, what they can look like. Sometimes, you know, it could be something as simple as clouds, or in this case, it's like the pussycat ears. You could have some fun with them. So layering these ones up. Now that is our white smooth stamping card, that is our 12 by 12 texture card, and then that's also our pattern cardstock. I've not put in the metal shim. I'm quite confident that it's going to cut all layers, but we'll see. We'll see in a minute. So let's see. Oh, let's see. Not that I doubted it, but I should never question the Gemini. So that's cut all 3 layers.
No one puts a Gemini in the corner, Craig.
Sorry?
No one puts Gemini in the corner.
No one does put Gemini in the corner. Absolutely not. No way. So there is the main front. Now this is what I mean by the little square. So all those card layers in betweens are still stuck together because I put a little square of adhesive on the back. So what we can do is we can then, let's bring in our back layer and also another piece of cardstock. I've done the same size as the front layer, but what I'm not going to do is cut an aperture. That can go straight into the middle. So we're going to pop this one here into place, and then at this point what I'm going to do is we're going to pop adhesive on this strip and this strip, and I'm actually going to construct the card now, and then what we'll do is we can do our die cutting and then add in the layers afterwards, because although it's a dimensional card we can fold it flat so we can get the central detail sentiment in just perfectly. So we can match that end with that end and press, and then I'm going to turn it around because I find it easier by turning it around, and we're going to match one end with the other one, and then press there, and then that starts to, well it does, it gives us our kind of like our theatre card there. Sit that one to the side, bring in our plates again, and we're going in, bringing in a bit of this pastel colour cardstock, still from the Warm Tones, and we can tape that one down. So we can pop that one in here. We're then going to bring in a bit of that deeper red here and pop this one into place. What I'm also going to do, just so that I can get them all on, I'm going to trim this down even more, and then that can then get secured into place. Pop that there, and then what we can do is bring in our sentiment die. I'm going to pop that onto our white smooth cardstock, and we can pop that one there and secure them all the way up. Then we can bring in our plate, so plastic, magnetic, and then top plate. Feed these ones through. And what you can do with any of these ones, you don't just have to use the full layers if you want. If maybe, for instance, you just want to use the sentiment on its own, you absolutely can do. Maybe, you know, for Happy Easter, you might want to make an Easter card or some other Easter themed card and just use that sentiment, not the decoration, which you can, no problem whatsoever. So we can then take away all these layers. So I'm going to carefully peel these ones out here. So there's 1, 2, and then let's bring in the third one. So if I pop these bits out, bringing in our poke tool, and then feed that out. So we've got our 3 layers, and let's take that one here. So I'm going to sit that one to the side, that to the side, and then this has got our layers here. So I'm going to do this layer first, and we can use our dotty tape runner for this one. If you've still got your tacky glue and the little applicator, use that if you want, but I'm going to use our dotty tape runner. That can then sit nicely into the middle, like that one. And then what I'm going to do is bring in our sentiment again with the dotty tape runner. And I'm just being careful because we've got some real fine edges when it comes to the sentiment. So I don't want to tear it. So I'm going to really hold down each layer as I go in with my tape runner. And then this one can sit into the middle here. So lining it up and using that white.
Love the colours again, Craig.
It's giving you that reverse effect from the craft along box that we done with the black, where the black stands out. We've now done the reverse, but we've got it so that the white stands out. So black and white, you know, works in so many different ways. So we can then bring back in our kind of like our diorama theatre card. And what I'm going to do, just because I've still got some left over, let's take
You're loving these sheets, aren't you, today?
I am, yeah, and do you know something? See, when I'm at home, I actually use them quite a lot. It's just when I'm here on Crafters TV, I'll use the pads. So either or, you know, I love them both. So I just thought I'd bring them in and incorporate them with the craft along. But what I've done now, so now I'm just laying that one flat that we can see here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that in right over the top. And then I'm just going to just carefully manipulate that out. We're going to pop the sides in. And then I've got a couple of other strips here and then here. Popping our adhesive on, so all the way round. Let's pop here. So if I set that into place here, I'm going to rub that one, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to tape this side here, and then to finish off, I've got a lovely baby pink bow. We can bring in our adhesive, let's bring in our glue gel. I'm going to set that here to the side. I'm going to pop that one here, press that into place. Add gems, add pearls, add a little bit of ink to the papers if you want, but that's all that I'm going to do. So we can see, now you could of course make a box for it if you want, but don't forget it does fold flat, so you can just pop it flat into an envelope and send that to someone that you just want to send some kisses to.